Greetings everyone, this is Danny from HarrTravel.com and I'm currently on board the beautiful Norwegian Escape. It's a little bit rainy here today in Miami, but that's not going to affect us at all because we are having an amazing cruise already and we haven't even taken off. So I'd like to show you the ship. If you'd start over here, you can see behind me you have these two large screen TVs. If you hashtag the ship's name, they're going to post your pictures up there throughout the cruise. It's a really fun touch so that you can see yourself, and then also I know my daughter really loves that as well. Down below me is the full pool deck. So you've got the bandstand, they're getting ready to set up right now to rock out to some Caribbean music. You've got the two hot tubs there with a retractable roof. You also have a ton of lounge chairs, and then of course, Waves Bar. Right above, there's a second bar as well on this deck. You can see it just behind me here. So as you continue on, what you're gonna see is the water slide complex. So there's actually 4 of them here. You got the huge tube slide there, over there. There's a kids club over to the side. My daughter absolutely loved it. In fact, we stayed on the ship when we were in port several times because the crowd really cleared out for her, and she and her cousins got to go up and down it, well, I think about 100 times. But you can see that over there in the distance. There's a smaller slide that the younger kids can utilize as well, along with these 2 massive racer slides here. So you can see the entrance is just up top there. Essentially what's going to happen is the floor is going to drop out from below you and you're going to zip all the way down. You're going to loop up, over and around, and of course race your friends. One secret, the heavier friend always wins, so I tend to do pretty darn good on this. One other thing I wanted to point out is right here you have the jogging track. It's perfect in the morning or in the evenings, or apparently when it's raining, there's not as many people out here, but you can see all the deck chairs. As soon as we get sailing here, it's supposed to clear up the rain in just a couple hours. All the deck chairs will be out and all of the deck space is going to be utilized. I'd like to stop here for just a second right up front because you can see the ropes course behind me. It's a huge ropes course. It's almost half a mile. It can be pretty challenging as well, but if you want to challenge yourself and just have a great time when you're in the Caribbean, that is a perfect way to spend an afternoon. All right, so up here on the sports deck, you have miniature golf. Miniature golf is my all-time favorite. It's one of my favorite cruise memories as a kid. What I love about it is it's complimentary. You just step on up, grab a ball. Let's see what we got today. Little bit of a wet green today, but still not a bad shot, all right. So you take some relief. Par 3. Oh, it's the wind, it's the rain. No, it's just me. All right. One other thing I wanted to point out is right above me is the basketball court, the full sport court, and then right now we're in the ropes complex. It is raining pretty good here now, but we're having an amazing time. All right, so now I'm headed into Spice H2O. This is an adults only area on board. There's a couple pieces to it. So the very first one, I'm not sure if you can see through there, but I'm gonna walk up and around. You have the grotto. So the grotto is basically just a place to walk in and cool off, because this spends most of its time in the Caribbean, also in the Med during the summer, sometimes in New England as well. But this is just a great place. It's kind of like a walk-through shower. I've been known to go in there and stand underneath it. It's very calming actually as well, especially if you're traveling with kiddos. Adults only space is fantastic. You've got your shower right here, hot tub on this side. There's a matching one on the other side as well, along with a very large screen. Many of the times that I've been on here, this is where we've had our corporate parties or different kinds of things like that, because they can close it down really easily. But other than that, this is an adults only area and it turns into a bit of a nightclub in the evening. They'll have different games and activities back here, but they also, you can see they have all the different lights up there that you can imagine. And this place really gets rocking when you get going. And of course, any adults only area needs a bar. So this is the bar. It's also a smoking area. I just wanted to point out. All right, so now we are headed into the happiest place on earth. And no, I am not talking about Disney right now. I'm talking about the Haven. I love cruising in the Haven. It's one of my favorite experiences in the entire cruise industry. And right now we are heading into the Haven Lounge, restaurant, courtyard, and then sun deck as well. So right when I walk in, I wanted to point out the amazing staff here. They're the ones that as soon as you get on board the ship, if you have any needs, they're gonna take care of them, but they'll also take care of you throughout the entire cruise. And once again, they do an amazing job. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so as we continue on in, you're gonna see this is the main lounge area in the Haven. So a relaxing spot, perfect place to get a cocktail or a drink, read throughout the day, but generally it's not a space that fills up completely. As we continue on, you can see there's an assortment of seating here. So you've got the individual chairs, the sofas, and then some overstuffed sofas over there in the corner. And then of course the Haven Bar. What I love about the Haven Bar is this is always where you're gonna find the best bartenders in the entire ship, the ones with the most unique personalities. And I'm going to be in the Haven in just a couple weeks, and I can't wait to get back because one of my friends who's a bartender is going to be serving on that cruise as well. So, but this is all about making you feel like family and making you have the ultimate luxury experience on a big ship cruise. Okay, so now I'm out at the Haven Courtyard. Right here, they've got a little setup with iced tea and water. Guests were able to wait here and relax before getting off the ship. And then also, as soon as the Haven guests are allowed on the ship here, this is the place where they can come and relax right away. In fact, the pool is ready to go. You can see you have all these loungers here. They've got these really nice, like terry cloth padded covers, really, really comfortable. You see there's an assortment of seating here too. You've got some chairs. You even have some loungers in the pool. This is one of my favorite ones, so I can put my feet in the pool, look straight up, because when you're sailing and you have good weather, the Magradome above me opens up completely and gives you that beautiful open air feeling. And then when the weather's a little inclement, you can also close it up, and then you have that experience as well. So as you'll continue on, you see that you have, in addition to this small like waiting pool, you have a pool here as well. And then you have 2 full hot tubs in addition to the shower. The shower's got this really nice rainforest shower head and actually 4 extra nozzles over there. One very important thing that I wanted to point out is that this is a family-friendly portion of the Haven. Of course, in a few minutes, we're going to take you up to the sun deck, which is 16 and up. But if you're traveling in one of those family villas, that is the ultimate family experience as far as I'm concerned, because your kids can access this space. It's very safe. It's very quiet and small as well. But they can have that, and then you also can have access to everything else on this incredible ship. So there's actually 4 categories of Haven suites that are in the key card access complex itself. So you're gonna have the 2-bedroom family villas, the Courtyard penthouses, and then of course the Haven owner suites, and then the Haven deluxe owner suites that are in the very, very front of the ship. In addition to that, you're also gonna have the aft-facing penthouses, forward-facing penthouses, and a couple other categories that are located outside the complex itself. But of course, you have the butler and you have full access to everything here. One little touch that goes along with that I appreciate is there's a bathroom in the pool area there, and then there's also a couple bathrooms inside. So, if you're staying inside the complex, you just run back to your room if you need to, but if you're not, you have that as well for the convenience factor. All right, so just outside on this ship was a brand new addition when it was created, and that's the outdoor Haven dining room. So I love dining outdoors, especially in the Caribbean. You've got the panels of glass where they got the openings, so you get a beautiful breeze coming through here. And you can imagine this is the perfect place to have a breakfast, lunch, or dinner, relax, have upgraded food throughout, and then once again, have beautiful views at the Caribbean. And then of course, looking back at the ship, there's some great people watching that can be had from here as well. All right, so now we are up on deck 19, looking over the Haven Courtyard just below me. Once again, a light, airy, beautiful space. You've got this amazing Magradome here, which they're gonna open up when the ship starts sailing and when we're in the Caribbean port. So what that does is, in addition to the air conditioning that they have in here now, I can feel that it's nice and cool. When they open it up, you get that beautiful breeze, and it kind of, in my mind, is the best of all worlds. So up here, you're gonna have some mixed seating. So you've got some seating here where the bartenders will serve you. Of course, you're in the Haven. And then you have all of these loungers. What I've noticed with this ship compared to some of the newer ones is up top here, there's more lounge space, which I think is a great thing. And then once again, as I continue to walk through, all of the windows on every single side, letting in a ton of light, just a really, really beautiful space. All right, so now we're headed out to the sun deck. So unlike the inside courtyard area, this is adults only. Well, 16 and up is the way they classify it. What you'll see up here is a ton of these loungers. And behind me is the Vibe Beach Club. So there is a separate area there, just blocking that off. And then you continue on, you have more loungers, these really, really nice and beautiful day beds over there. And then also extra shade. That's something that they've added on that is really nice and appreciated. Over here you have the hot tub. It is the only hot tub on the outdoor adults only deck, but you're also gonna have the 2 down below that you've already seen. And as I continue on, wanted to point out the shower here with, once again, looks like the size of a giant hubcap. You got the rainforest shower head right there. Once again, great before you get in or out of the hot tub, but also just to stay cool on a nice warm Caribbean or Mediterranean day. As we continue on, we're at the very, very front now. You've got more loungers here, and then you've got several that look out to the very front of the ship. I did want to point out that they've got this great glass with gaps here and in the front as well, which allows that airflow to come through. I've got a nice breeze coming through now. I can picture this being a perfect place to sit and enjoy the Caribbean. All right, so now we're up on deck 19, and this is a sun deck area. I wanted to point out something really quick first, a little secret area here. As you go towards the front, right up here on my left-hand side is the entrance door to go into the elevator. So this is how you're gonna access the elevator bank. Those who have mobility concerns or needs, this is where you're gonna come out. But as we come around the front, you'll notice that the lounge chairs are not all out yet, and that's simply because they're cleaning the space right now, getting ready to turn it around. But all of these loungers are gonna be out here, and then you're gonna have a ton more right out the very, very front. To me, this is just an amazing lookout space. If you enjoy people watching, this may be the best spot on the entire ship for it. Right down below, I can see the pool, the hot tubs, and then of course the bar and the amazing water slides, and of course the ropes course in the distance behind me. You can see all of that activity going on, sitting here, relaxing, and then of course with a drink in your hand. All right, so here is a giant mister. Great place to cool off. You got them coming down from the top and the sides all around. Love walking through it, a little bit like a car wash. And then as we continue on, this is all open deck, public space. This is open to anybody. So it's a little different than Norwegian's brand new ships. There's a ton more public space in my mind on this ship. So if you look up here, heading up the stairs, what you're gonna find is a really, really large sun deck area. Once again, on the Encore, that's gonna be the Vibe Beach Club, but on this ship, it's open to anybody and everybody who's interested. Over here to my right, you've got a bar, another TV. Once again, great place to watch a game. Nice little lounge area over here as well. And then one of the two hot tubs are right here to my left. Once again, it looks like a really wide open deck space, which gives you a great perspective of how many chairs that they can put out here so that you can enjoy that. To my right there, you're gonna have a shower so that you can cool off, and then of course use it before and after you get in the hot tub. And as I continue along, I just wanted to point out that to my right here is actually the inside of the Haven Courtyard. You've got the Magradome up there to my right, so that's gonna open up, but once again, that is for Haven guests only, but all this space here is still public space. As I continue on, there's another fantastic hot tub here. And then what I really, really appreciate is that you have the very front of the ship open for any and all guests to access. You've got a phenomenal lookout area. You've got another shower, and then once again, the hot tub. But it's really a nice space. And I felt by having all of this extra space and the larger deck down below that it felt a lot less crowded than some of the other ships. So I hope you are feeling the good vibes like I am right now. We are inside the adults only Vibe Beach Club. What's super critical for you to know is that it is an extra cost. You can only sign up on board, so you're gonna wanna do it right away when you get on if that's something you're interested in. It's only available for sale by the week. This current week, it's $209, but of course that can change as well. Just behind me, you've got the bar. Got a great TV there, fantastic place to watch some sports. Behind me over there to the right, you've got a ton of loungers and day beds. You also have some shade here. Really, really appreciate that. They'll put them up or take them down as you would like. Some more lounge area over here. We've got chairs and day beds. And then right there, you're gonna have the hot tub with an amazing view looking out the glass at the Caribbean. So to my left here, you have a shower. It is handicap accessible. You've got a very, very large rainforest shower head here. Looks kind of like a hubcap there. Some more really comfortable day beds. And then as we continue on back, we're actually heading, just for your reference, towards the Haven Sun Deck, which is a completely separate area. Right here, you're gonna have more loungers, this great space where they've built kind of almost like a backyard pergola with some more comfy chairs. But what this space is all about is sitting back, usually with a drink in my hand, probably a pina colada, looking out at the Caribbean and just enjoying my time on the Escape. All right, so now I'm headed into the spa complex. And the reason I say complex is the very first part of it is actually the Pulse Fitness Center. So over here to your left, you're gonna have your free weights, your kettlebells over there. Also some more free weights in the corner. All of the machines, all the different pulley machines that you could possibly imagine in here. And they work with Techno Gym. It's all really good quality equipment. And as we cross over to the other side, what you're gonna see is more of the aerobic side over here. So you've got the hand pedaler, you've got your bikes, stationary bikes. Of course, you've got the one seated and then the one without the back as well. Your elliptical. One thing that I just wanted to point out that I really, really appreciate from Norwegian is that I'm 6'6", and on many different fitness centers, not that I spend that much time in the fitness centers, my head hits the roof. So they've actually carved it out to be a higher spot here so that tall people can actually use the equipment. As you continue on, you see a lot more of the aerobic, got more ellipticals, and then a ton of treadmills here. And of course, the treadmills are looking out, and it's always better to exercise when you have an amazing view of the Caribbean. So in addition, you have another aerobic space here. So they've got the TRX set up. You can do personal training, you can do classes. They also have the bag set up for kickboxing or for boxing as well. And then over here, you're gonna have your yoga mats. You've got your balance balls. And then of course, you can do lots and lots of activities with this. But once again, this is really an aerobic training area. All right, so now we're heading into the main part of the spa. So the first thing you're gonna find is the reception desk. This is, of course, you wanna go right away on boarding day if you wanna sign up for specific dates and times and treatments, but they're gonna take great care of you. You also have your full menu with all that details there. There's all kinds of treatments on board. So this is the Capitalist, it's a hair loss treatment. And then in here is a classic old school barber shop. So gentlemen can get ready just like the ladies can. And I'll show you the beauty salon in just a second across the way. Okay, so now just across from the barbershop, you are going to have the salon. So this is a beauty salon exactly as you would expect. They can do any of the things that you can do on land. So you can get hair coloring. You can also get different kinds of treatments. Of course, they have all of the top of the line products. You can purchase them as well. So one advantage that I hear all the time is that they're duty free. So sometimes those beauty products and things along those lines are going to be a better price for you on board. So more of the hair setups here. And then as we continue along, this is where you're going to get your manicure, once again with an incredible view out the side of the ship. Right now we're looking at Norwegian's brand new terminal that's almost opened up in just a few months. And then as we continue on towards the end, you're going to get to the pedicure area. Once again, a perfect spot. One, I love it. I actually had a pedicure on the ship, and I love that they have the basin big enough for me, and the chair was actually big enough for me as well. You've got your massage chair, and then once again, sit back, and you have a beautiful, beautiful view looking out at the ocean, which will be the Caribbean in just a few hours. All right, so one thing that's unique about this spa is it's upstairs and downstairs. So all the treatment rooms are going to be downstairs here. As you continue on, this is the relaxation lounge. Don't want to disturb them right now, but you have several loungers in there. The whole idea behind it is just to get your mind in a zen place, very, very relaxed before you and after your spa treatments. They also have flavored waters and teas and things like that in there as well. If you continue on, what you're going to see is this entire hallway is all treatment rooms. I'm going to point out one of my favorite ones is right here on the right-hand side. My wife and I love to get a couples massage. So we have young child, and so being able to do anything together is a really, really special thing, especially on vacation. But you see you have the two tables here. You've got the double hot tub over there, jacuzzi tub in the corner, and you have a large shower here as well. But once again, it's just really nice to have purpose-built spaces for the right kinds of treatments. As you continue on, you've got your bamboo massages, your hot stone massages, just about every kind of spa treatment that you can imagine on land, they're gonna have here at sea. Okay, so now we're headed into the very center of the spa area. So as soon as you get in, you're gonna have a men's locker room and a women's locker room. Inside, you're just gonna find lockers, showers, and restrooms. So just past the men's, here's the women's. And then we're gonna head into the thermal suite. So the thermal suite is a signature of Norwegian, and it's something that I think they do better than any of the other big cruise lines. Just as you enter to your right, you've got your towels, and then as you continue along, you're gonna have water where they've got fruit infused in there, different kinds of teas. So this particular space is complimentary for those who have any of the spa category staterooms, and then they also sell the thermal pass suites. They don't sell that many of them because there are quite a few of the staterooms on board, so make sure that you grab that as soon as you get on board if that's something you're interested in. As we continue on through the space, you can see they have these loungers here. There's a towel ready at every single one of them. So one of the best places to be on this ship is at the very, very front where you have these stone loungers. So if you haven't sat on one of them before, they're one of my favorites. I've got a bad back right now, so it really, really makes a huge difference. But essentially it's heated, so my back is getting heat, my leg's getting heat, and I am looking out the front of the ship in a really beautiful view. Once again, when you're sailing, it's really, really special. You're gonna have other loungers here as well, like you had behind, and then you also have kind of some day beds and different assortment of seating in throughout. But what really makes this thermal suite unique is all of the thermal features. All right, so here's the massive hydrotherapy pool. The stairs are over there where you can walk down. There's also a hot tub. You've got the waterfall jet there, and then also the loungers back there with where it bubbles up. And then over here, you're gonna have the really more intense bubbles as well. But something that I really appreciate that they've done on this ship is it's really truly handicap accessible, and they've done it in almost every single space. So those of my clients who have accessibility issues also oftentimes would benefit the most from using the hydrotherapy pool. So they've got the full lift here where they can take it in and put it down. Make sure, of course, that you ask for assistance, but I really, really do appreciate that they have this in here. All right, so as we continue on, you have your tropical rain shower here. Really, really large. You got the rainforest shower head and then kind of that car wash effect where you've got the jets coming from every single side. And as you continue on, you got another space over here where they've got water and flavored teas and things like that. And then more loungers. Once again, a really, really large space on a cruise ship of this size. So these loungers are gonna look directly out at the views. You've got another shower here. Once again, a fully accessible roll-in shower. Really appreciate that. And then the salt bath. So what's great about this is that it's heated, so this is gonna produce heat. They've got these Himalayan salts in here, and I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know that the essences of them are very, very healing. As we continue along, you see that this is the quiet area because now we're getting into more of the spa part itself. I wanted to point out the sauna. It's a really, really large sauna. You've got a shower right on the side as you walk in, and follow me on in here. What I love about it is it's really, really big, but you have these beautiful windows looking out, which just to me adds to the entire experience. Okay, so just next to that is the Scenarium. So this is essentially another sauna, but it's got a little bit more humidity and moisture in there. And then the steam bath over here takes it to the next level, and you have a full steam bath. Once again, it just helps you sweat out, clear your pores, and get nice and relaxed. One other feature that I really love is the snow room. So it kind of has an outer area here as well. Follow me on in. What's awesome about it is legitimately snowing in here. It's really, really cold. A lot of those, especially the Nordic traditions, to go from really hot to really cold and back, but this is the perfect place for that. And well, if you want to build a snowman, this is the place. Right, so now I am in the Garden Cafe. Today is boarding day, so it's always gonna be the most busy right now, but I am all the way in the back of the ship. There's quite a few seats open back here. That's why I always start back here, because frankly, the best place to be. I'll just give a little brief explanation on it. Back here, you're gonna have a couple different stations. You've got sandwiches and salads ready to go. And then along the way, you've got classic Americana. They rotate it out every day. When I've traveled with my little one and my nieces and nephews, most of the time we eat in here because it's gonna be a little bit more active, lots going on. You can grab whatever food you want. But they have all the classic buffet foods. Where I've found that they've really hit it out of the park in the last couple years is the Asian cuisine, and specifically the Indian cuisine. It is amazing. Of course, some of the best Indian chefs work on board, but we've absolutely loved that on our last several cruises. So keep in mind, buffet is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything in here is complimentary. There is some places where you can, obviously there's a bar and things like that, but everything else is included, and this is a great option on board, especially if you're traveling with a family and you want to have a little more flexibility and let the kiddos make some noise. All right, so now we're headed into the Splash Academy. This space is all about kids. They have unbelievable counselors, but we'll talk about it as we go through. So right when you walk in, the very first day, it's critical that you come down here, you register, you get all set up. You gotta talk to Cheeky. She is unbelievable. She's gonna take amazing care of your kiddos and have, well, maybe more fun than they do even. Has a lot of fun. So, but when you come in, you're gonna need to register. You're gonna set up the permissions, who can pick up the kids, who can drop them off, and things along those lines. You also have these great planners that are gonna have all the activities for the entire cruise. You're gonna get that on the first day. I know my daughter really, really loved the jungle party on board when they had it. So follow me on in. You'll notice there's doors here. These are gonna be locked as soon as the joining day finishes. They're gonna be locked, and they're gonna open them up only after they validated that you're the right person to pick up the kiddo. So as we come on through, you can see this is a parent-free zone. You've got the restrooms right when you walk in here. We're gonna continue on through. They have a regular restroom, and then they also have an accessible restroom. I really, really appreciate that. You don't always find that in kids clubs themselves. So as we come on in, they're getting ready for registration right now. So I'm gonna head on in to the main space area. Hey, everybody. So these are the people that make your kids have an unbelievable time. I was an educator, I was a teacher for 10 years, and I know what it takes to put the energy in every single day. They choose to be here, they have a background in child development, and they all do a really incredible job. So one of the awesome things about this space is they have these dividers where they can separate it up. So now, when those doors are closed, I'm actually in the 10 to 12-year-old area. So they have all of this space here, some great bench seating. These are kind of blocked off right now just to push people in the right direction. And then over here, you're gonna have the full area for all of those kiddos. As we walk in and we continue on to the next space, we're into the 6 to 9-year-old area. So once again, I love that they've gone out of their way to make sure that they have the age-appropriate, size-appropriate sinks and things like that. And then of course, throughout the entire trip, you're gonna have age-appropriate activities and programming that they will be continuously doing. Now I'm back in the main space here. You've got the Xbox Connect up there so you can play some of the fun games. And then as we continue right around the corner here, I wanted to show you the jungle room. So the jungle room here is usually utilized for 3 to 5-year-olds. It's kind of a general play area, but you can see it's really meant for the younger kids. And gotta watch out for your head if you're 6'6" in here. But you also have these TVs where they're gonna set up the video game loungers right here. And then continue on in to the next large space. So once again, this is a multi-use space. It's not dedicated to a specific age group. As you come around here, this is kind of the video game area. You got these double couches here, which I think are awesome. And then of course, who doesn't want to play Mario Kart once again and have an amazing time? So continue on through here. This is the separation area for the 3 to 5-year-olds. So they kind of have 2 spaces in here. This is really their dedicated space. Behind all of those cupboards, you're gonna have a ton of art supplies, games, pretty much anything that you can think of that would be in a preschool or an elementary school. And then once again, they do a fantastic job of keeping it moving, because we all know the attention span. I have a 4-year-old at home and I know the attention span. And so for her to get to do a lot of exciting things over and over again, especially when she travels with her cousins, is just the absolute best. So this is like an overflow area. It's a movie area. your kids can stay later here, and this is probably where they're gonna end up. You see all the Fat Boy bean bags over there in the corner, and then also all of the padding, so everybody can sit here, lay out, and watch a movie. All right, so now I'm headed into Guppy's nursery. This is a space that I'm really familiar with because I started cruising with my daughter when she was 6 months old. In fact, that's the youngest you can cruise. I think she was just a couple days past 6 months. So there's a couple things on this ship that are very unique that they don't have on any other ship in the fleet. I'll point them out as we go, but right when you walk in here, this is gonna be the sign-up area today where you can get your kid registered. And then you see, of course, all the age and size appropriate toys in here on the walls. And then as we continue on in, notice there's a sign there that says parent free zone. But once again, this is just another play area, a very relaxing area. They have the kitchen. On the other ships, what they have is it's really just a play area where you can come in and play with your kid. But what is unique about this particular ship is that they also have full drop-off. Once again, the only ship in the fleet that has full drop-off. They have a couple more pack and plays. They will actually put them down for a nap, change diapers, and feed them. Please note that that is an extra cost. I believe it's $20 per session. But once again, a really unique thing. And if you have younger kids, maybe you have a 2.5-year-old, to have the ability to go to dinner and relax on your own with your spouse is a really, really wonderful thing. All right, so now I'm headed into the Entourage Teen Lounge. This is an adult-free zone, of course, except for the counselors, but the whole idea is to have the teenagers have their own space that's very comfortable. Frankly, in all of the industry, I think this is one of the coolest spaces because you have these massive windows where you have the incredible views, and it's a really, really large space for a teen club. So over here, you're gonna have your video games. You have them on both sides. I mean, who doesn't love competing with Mario Kart? Something that I love to do still to this day. Once again, a total eclectic mix of seating in here. You got these large couches, and you got the little beanbag chairs as well. Foosball, one of my all-time favorites. And then, of course, got your Xbox Connect over there to play Just Dance. And then as I continue on to the rest of the space, you're gonna have your air hockey over here. You see a little table here that's set up because they're just getting ready to welcome everybody on board. Make sure that you come in and check in with your team the very first day, get everything all set and set all your permissions. And then as you continue on over here, you have this full dance club. They do a party every single night in here for the teenagers. They also play different games because, I was a middle school teacher for a decade. I know I chaperone a lot of dances. Sometimes they're into it, sometimes they're not. But really what this space is about, it's about the teenagers. It's about giving them their space so they can be just about adults, but in a very safe environment as well. One thing I wanted to point out is a lot of times we'll get requests where you have a 12-year-old and then there's a 15-year-old in the family as well. They do not waiver on that. This is the space for 13 to 17-year-olds only, and then they have space for the younger kids as well. So just right next to the teen club is the large arcade on board. So it's a really big space. One thing that I love is that you can purchase an unlimited pass throughout the cruise. Just make sure that you double check. Sometimes they're available, sometimes that they're not. But it's just a classic arcade. You've got the skee ball here, you've got your air hockey, all the games where you can grab with the claw as well. Another huge double air hockey table here. The different racing games over here. You got some Mario, you've got the motorcycles, and then also on top of it, I wanted to point out one thing here. This is the Jungle Escape. So this is a VR game. There's one or two of them on here, and I'm guessing in a couple years, whenever they do a massive renovation, they'll probably add on more virtual reality like they have on the Joy and also on the Encore. All right, so now we're headed into Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a celebration of everything tropical, everything, step on a top, blew out a flip-flop, all of that kind of fun stuff. And it's all Jimmy Buffett. I absolutely love it. The food's great. Conch fritters are my absolute favorite. But what this is just going to be tropical Caribbean food. It is an extra cost, but you can use your specialty dining package with it if you like. Just point out, like throughout the ship, you're going to have your water stations, also your flavored water with lemonade, iced tea, things like that. And then back here, you've got the full bar here where they are doing amazing work making some of the best margaritas on the high seas. Absolutely. I love it. Okay, and then as we continue on back, I just wanted to show that they have this really unique open kitchen concept here. So you get all of the smells and the flavors all at once. But once again, this is Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. One unique feature on the ship is that they have interior studio cabins that are truly for solo travelers. So you see the sign here, and it's key card access only. Follow me on in. Just to my right is the studio lounge. I'll take you in there in just a minute, but I wanted to show you what the rooms were all about. So the first one here, room 11501, we're gonna head on in. And as soon as you come in here, you can tell immediately that this is not a very large stateroom. But for one person, it's a perfect size stateroom, and that's really what this is all about. So you've got your nice, faux window kind of there that will close and shut. You've got your reading lights just above you. your phone. And then one thing that I noticed is there's not any plugs right by the bed. I always bring an extra Mophie or some kind of battery backup charger. And then also you can use the other plugs that are European if you bring an extra European converter. So this makes into basically a full-size bed. Once again, perfect for one person. You've got a ton of storage here, and they've done a unique job with it. So slides open here, you've got your hanging storage, you've got your safe just under there. Once again, not quite big enough for a laptop, but perfect for your personal belongings. You've got your TV here, a little bit of storage above. I'll open this up, a little bit more storage. So you've got more hanging storage here and then a little bit underneath. A little stool here where you can sit if you like. And then of course your flat screen TV. We're gonna continue on in. The sink is in the bedroom. So basically the bedroom is a bathroom. It is a studio, that's what it is. You got storage underneath here as well. Okay, a little bit more storage in there, and then your complimentary hairdryer that comes with every stateroom on board. And then over here, you're gonna have your shower. One thing that I really appreciate is for a room this size, it's actually a pretty good size shower. I'm 6'6". There's a raised threshold here, so I don't quite fit in here a little bit, but once again, even when I get in, I do have a little bit of room to move around. You've got your shower head there. I did want to point out that in this particular configuration, this is an adjoining room. So if you have two friends that are traveling together, this may be a much better solution than maybe sharing an interior cabin. This way you both have all of your own space. And finally, you've got the toilet in here. Once again, small space, just big enough for that. But once again, for one person, I think this is a fantastic size room. All right, so the rooms are perfect for one passenger, but what really makes it special and unique is the studio lounge itself. So I'm gonna follow me on in here. What I love about it is it's a private space just for solo travelers. So solo travelers are oftentimes given the worst of all. Usually they have to pay double the price, and in this case they've priced them appropriately, but having a shared social space like this is really fantastic. Right here you've got games, of course, chess, Monopoly, Yahtzee, and things like that. You're gonna meet new people, once again, which is one of the most important parts of this. You've got your wine dispensers over here, very, very important. And then you always are gonna have some kind of setup. Right now for boarding day, you've got some fruits and cookies, and then you also have the espresso maker. This is complimentary, and once again, a great added feature. But as you walk around the space, what you'll see is there's kind of an eclectic mix of seating here. You've got some tables and benches. You have some other toppers over there. But what this space is about is it's sharing with other people, meeting new people, and really having that full experience that a lot of times solo travelers don't necessarily get. I wanted to point out one more really important thing is right here, you've got a stairway that goes up, and then there's also a stairway that goes down. So I always recommend choosing deck 11 because what you're gonna have is you're gonna be able to come straight out to the lounge. So if you have mobility concerns or the stairs are an issue, keep in mind that if you're on this floor, you can just come right in. But if you're on one of the other floors, you're gonna need to go to the main elevator bank, go up or down a floor, and then come right back in this way. All right, so now we are on deck 8 at the very aft of the ship, the start of the 6, 7, 8 complex. So basically this is the interior entertainment zone and dining zone on the Norwegian Escape. So as soon as we head in, you see they have this beautiful furniture here, beautiful, beautiful hardwood floors. It's really meant to be kind of the entryway for an elegant, old school steakhouse, which is where we're actually gonna go first. So as soon as I get in here, the first thing that you will see is the Prime Meridian Bar. So this is a great gathering place, fantastic place to get a drink before or after you dine, but that's gonna be right here. And then if you follow me over to the side, this is Kagney. So Kagney Steakhouse is an unapologetic old school steakhouse. It's a classic on Norwegian. It's been around since they had freestyle dining. It's always one of the favorites, one of the tougher reservations to get. So make sure that you do pre-reserve it. But once again, big, huge, juicy steaks, massive shrimp and things along those lines. And then of course, some of the best desserts in the entire world. Now, something that's very interesting about this ship and all the ships since the breakaway is that you also have access to the waterfront. So what we see here is all of the indoor dining for Kagney Steakhouse. And then now I'm gonna step outside. Just outside, you're gonna have the waterfront and the exterior dining. So this will be all set up for dining here in just a short period of time. And then make sure that you designate and let them know whether you wanted to dine inside or outside. So now we are back at the Prime Meridian Bar. I just wanted to point out that they have all of the different latitudes and longitudes that you're gonna see. So Amsterdam, 4 degrees, Greenwich, England, which of course is 0. As we continue along to the other side, you're gonna have a little more seating where people can sit and get ready. But now we have the Brazilian Steakhouse. It's a fantastic option. They give you a little tag so you can decide if you want more meat or less meat. But basically, you can have an unbelievable meal here, eat as much as you want, and really it's a carnivore's delight. Right, so just outside of Kagney's and Moderno, you have the bake shop. So keep in mind that this is an additional cost, but they have all kinds of wonderful little treats. You got cupcakes. I know I got my daughter a few for her birthday. Then you also have these beautiful macarons, and then they also have a coffee shop. Just outside of the bake shop, you're going to have the Dolce, which is the ice cream shop. Wonderful, absolutely delicious. My favorite is the lemon, but today I think I'm gonna go for pistachio, but too much time in Italy, I know. All right, so we wanted to show you a little bit more of the Waterfront because it is such a unique feature for Norwegian Cruise Lines. Once again, it started with the Breakaway, and with each version of the ship that's come out, I think it's improved and gotten even a little bit better. So of course you're gonna have the restaurants that have indoor and outdoor seating, but in addition to that, you're also gonna have all of this lounge space. So this is where I usually set up shop, maybe reading a book. Actually, a lot of times I bring my laptop out here, so when you're booking your Haven cruise with me, I might actually be sitting right here doing it. But once again, it's just a multi-function space. They do have bar service out here, so it's great to get a drink. And when you're sailing in the tropics, or frankly anywhere for that matter, it's just a really beautiful space to be in. All right, so now we're coming up on the next restaurant, which is Bayamo by Ocean Blue. So this is gonna be the seafood restaurant. If you love fish, lobster, oysters, all that kind of stuff, this is the spot for you. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you just inside here. There's a couple different spaces right here. So the first one is Ocean Blue, like I was talking about, Bayamo. That's gonna be right here to my right. You've got a full bar here with specialty coffees as well. Just to point out, the specialty coffees are not included in the beverage package, but if you get the plus, you can get those at the meals as well. Just across from Ocean Blue is going to be the tapas bar. So once again, a great place to sit down, have a bunch of small bites, maybe before a meal, or turn it into your entire meal itself. But they're right there serving it up for you as you go, cutting things fresh and preparing them as you go. To my right, you will see a stunningly beautiful chandelier. So this is a signature of all of the Breakaway Plus class ships, Breakaway as well, where you just have these really beautiful crystal chandeliers. Sometimes they change colors, different LED things as well. And then I wanted to point out the sugarcane mojito bar. So if you love mojitos, this is the best mojito bar on the high seas because it's specifically made for it. As a bartender, mojitos are some of my least favorite things to make because there's a lot that goes into it, but they love doing it here and they're ready, equipped for it. So if you want a great mojito, this is the stop for you. Okay, so behind me, you have a ton of retail. Over here, you have your very high-end retail. So if you're looking for a Bulgari item or something along those lines, because it's duty-free, it can be a better price. I don't know if bargain is the word for it, but they have a massive, massive shopping area on board where you can find just about anything you want, from watches to jewelries, also to the sundries and items that you may have left at home. So as we continue on through the level 8, I'm gonna take you to Cellars. Cellars is a dedicated wine bar, and I just wanted to point out once again that the beverage package that's included has a large variety of items that are included, basically drinks and spirits and wines that are up to $15. But if you want more than that, they do have the Premium Plus package, and it really, really does open up an incredible wine list. And if you're a champagne lover, well, anyway, it can be amazing. So right here is where they're gonna do different tastings. And as you walk through, you'll see that there's more tasting tops here as well. You've got a large assortment back there, including Louis XIII, not included with the Premium Plus beverage package, but you actually get a phenomenal discount to where it's really an affordable price. As we continue through, you see a lot more of it. This is where you're gonna have the different refrigerated wines and champagnes, all those ones with bubbles. And then the other thing that I like about this space is you've got this open seating where you can look out and be part of what's happening on the 6, 7, 8, and then also in the wine bar itself. All right, so now we are in the Tobacco Road Bar. Behind me is the humidor. It's a cigar lounge. You can purchase the cigars here, but it's one of the few places on board where you can smoke. And then this is the main part of the bar itself. They have a really, really fantastic collection, especially of whiskeys here, but you've got several beers on tap, a full bar selection. And once again, it's a really social space because it's connected with the Deck 8 walkway here. So now we are in La Cucina, which is the Italian restaurant. This is another one of those very original Norwegian concepts. On some of their newer ships, they've actually added Onda by Scarpetta. It'll be interesting to see if they do that here. But once again, a fantastic Italian meal. It's a really, really large space. In fact, this is the largest one in the entire fleet. So like all the other restaurants on the waterfront, they have indoor and outdoor seating. Make sure that you specify what you want when you reserve it. And then also, I'll just point out one last thing. You also have the only pizza ovens on board, and they make one heck of a pizza here. All right, so I am not gonna lie, I'm a bit of a parrot head. I love Jimmy Buffett. I've always loved his music because for me, anything and everything tropical makes me incredibly happy, especially in the Caribbean. So this is a bar where you just jam out. They're gonna have live music here every single day. You got a full bar over there. You better bet every once in a while they might even sing the song. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. But really, this is just a chill, relaxed place to get a tropical drink, hang out, and just make sure that you know that you are in the Caribbean and you're living life like Jimmy Buffett. All right, so now we're headed into Food Republic. This is a restaurant that I always sneak away for. My wife's not a huge sushi lover. I absolutely love it. But in our next cruise coming up in just a few weeks, we're staying in the Haven, so I will be ordering my sushi as room service. But what this is it's an Asian fusion, kind of like I get a little California vibes in here too, but you're gonna have several different meals or menus to choose from. You've got the Grill Republic, which is gonna be like teriyaki chicken and satays and things like that. You're also gonna have a full sushi menu, a full Asian menu, and then kind of just an eclectic mix. But what's really nice about this particular space itself is that it's hanging out over the side of the ship, which gives a really fantastic effect. So all of these seats have great views looking out. It also has a glass roof on the side that makes it really bright and airy. But these seats are really unique because you can sit here. I've had sushi here a few times, and then you're just looking right out at the front of the ship. And right over here is kind of over the edge of the ship itself. So if you'll follow me through here, there's 3 different kitchen areas in here, designated for the 3 different kinds of foods that they have. But you can sit at the bar here as well. And then there's bar seating all throughout, including at the sushi bar on the far side. All right, so next, across the way, we're heading into the District Brew House. So this is really a beer bar. They also have entertainment throughout the night here as well, but they have a massive, massive, massive selection of beers on tap. It's a great place to hang out in the day too, because right now is boarding day. There's a few people in here, but pretty soon this will empty up completely. You have the amazing light coming in from above, and this is where my wife actually loves to set up her sewing station each time that we're on this ship. All right, so now we are in the main theater. So quite a few things happen here, but of course they're really, really well known for their full production shows. After Midnight, kind of a tribute to Duke Ellington and all the classic pianists and jazz musicians, and then also Choir of Man. I just recently saw Choir of Man on the Encore. I'll be honest, it was the best show I've ever seen on a cruise ship because there's so much energy. Everybody knows the songs. There's actually audience participation. Audience is part of the show itself, but you'll absolutely love it on the Escape. All right, so in the heart of the 678 complex is Oceans. This is also known as the Local on some of the other ships, but basically it is a full 24-hour restaurant. I always compare it a little bit to Denny's or something along those lines, but you can get pancakes in the morning, you can get great lunch foods, and then really, really late at night they have as well. Down below me is the Atrium area. They're gonna have games. They have a huge TV screen as well. There's also some arcade games in the background. I know I love playing those, especially having a drink or two at the bar, and then of course the massive Oceans bar. One thing that I love about this space is if you sit here, you can order food, you can order drinks, but you also can look down at the atrium when they're doing the different games, like a deal or no deal type thing. But it's just a great place if you want to be part of the action. This is it. All right, so now we're going to continue along on deck 7 through the casino. So the casino on this ship is a really, really large space. The first spot I'd like to take you into is the Skyline Bar. So there are some casino games at the bar as well that you can take advantage of. Massive and full bar, but what really makes this special is all the screens all the way around. It's a great place to see a sporting event. And then also they have a full stage here where they have live music every single night. So this is kind of almost like an extra lounge space on board in addition to being part of the casino. All right, so you also have another beautiful view of the massive LED chandelier that they have on board. Now we're in the middle atrium area, like kind of the central area here on the ship, dead center. You've got, once again, the beautiful chandelier, and then down below me, you're gonna have deck 6, which is gonna open up to all of the different restaurants and show lounges down there. I'm just gonna walk through here, but basically it's a casino that you would expect. They have all the major games. They've got roulette, blackjack, 3-card poker. Wish they had Pai Gow, that's one of my all-time favorites. But essentially, if you want to go to the casino, this is a ship that will be perfect for you. And then I'll point out one last thing. This is the high rollers room in here. Got it set up for baccarat and blackjack. But if you're looking for really high limit gaming, that is something that Norwegian can accommodate for you. Okay, so now we're heading into the Manhattan room. The Manhattan room is one of the complimentary, or you can think of it as included options on board. The whole idea behind this is a classic old school American, kind of classic restaurant. So right now everything is covered up because they're going to be doing the lifeboat drill here in just a little bit. They'll open all that up and then of course set the tables here in just a few minutes. But once again, you can dine here. Usually it's open breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some days it's just open lunch and dinner, but this is a complimentary option. What makes this particular space really, really special and unique is this massive dance floor that is 2 stories high. So it opens up and you've got Moderno and you have Kagney's just above us. You have these massively beautiful chandeliers here and you've got the full bandstand up there. So it's dinner and dancing every single night on board. Right, so now on deck 6, you're gonna have 2 of the other complimentary restaurants, which are Taste and Savor. And then of course in the middle you have the Mix Bar. I love that all the restaurants have a bar attached. It's a great place to go either before or after for a drink. Also, if you don't make reservations, you can get a buzzer essentially. You can go grab a drink at the bar and then continue on. So I'll just show you a little bit of what the restaurant is all about. Right here you've got a total mix of seating. You've got 2 tops, 4 tops, 6 tops. But really what this is this is the classic complimentary option on board. The menu is going to change every single day, and then there's also many times breakfast and lunch in here as well. So the other side is virtually identical to this, different name, basically the exact same menu, but you may want to mix it up and do all of them. One very, very unique and interesting thing about this particular space, it's the only one in the Norwegian fleet, is you see there's a stairway down here, and then if you look down over the side, there's actually a second set of the dining room down below. You can actually get that for an entire party if you like, especially if you have a really large one. But once again, just a little architectural difference than its sister ships. All right, so on our way to the middle of the ship, essentially, you have the collection. So this is a really large art collection on board. Everything is for sale. They have art auctions. In fact, I have quite a few different customers that love Park West, and they'll actually come on board a ship specifically so they can buy the art. And then, of course, it's duty-free as well as, if you buy it on land, you're going to pay the local sales tax. So as we continue on deck 6, the first restaurant, specialty restaurant that we're going to run into is Teppanyaki. Teppanyaki is an all-time favorite. It's my personal all-time favorite because I love that every member of our family really enjoys going. The decor is really beautiful in here. Of course, they have a small little Zen Japanese garden. And what you're gonna see is the hibachi tables. So there's quite a few of them in here, especially for a ship this size. Some of their competitors have 1/3 or 1/4 of this size, but you can see it's a very social experience. It's, they've got the loud music going, banging and singing. My daughter loved it. They're doing We Will Rock You over and over again while she's getting, shrimp flung at her. And of course, the fried rice is to die for. Who doesn't love fried rice? And I want to take you to the rest of the restaurant here as well. And then my wife wanted me to make sure and tell you that the filet was magnificent. It was really, really good. So you can see it is a huge space basically for any land-based restaurant as well. So if you want to check out Teppanyaki, we highly recommend that you pre-reserve it or that you do it right when you get on board because they open up about half of the space as soon as you get on board. Okay, so just next to Teppanyaki is Le Bistro. Le Bistro is another one of those classic old school Norwegian restaurants that started with freestyle. So once again, it is French, it's unapologetically French. If you love escargot, this might be the place for you, but I've been really blown away recently with several of the meals that I've had in Le Bistro. One thing that I did want to point out is they have a unique relationship with Veuve Clicquot, the champagne. If you do upgrade to the Premium Plus package, normally it's $35 a glass, but if you upgrade to the Premium Plus package, you're actually going to get that as a complimentary or included option. But you see that they have a special tasting menu here too that is paired with it. But as you walk through, you can see it's meant to be very classic, very French, and of course, a phenomenal wine collection as well. So across from Le Bistro is Headliners Comedy Club. This is actually a multi-use space as well. Today, right now, it's actually where they're doing the restaurant reservations. So if you don't pre-reserve your restaurants, you're gonna want to do it as soon as you get on board. You can use the automated system, but this is another great option as well if you're interested. You've got the full bar, you've got the full stage over there, and this is also where they're gonna do Howl at the Moon, which is a dueling pianos. In my personal opinion, that's some of the best entertainment on board any cruise ship because it's so interactive with all of the guests. But of course, the comedians are amazing as well. I really love the late night shows, but make sure that you know that it is a late night show. So another entertainment space on board is the Supper Club. Right now they're doing Wine Lovers the Musical, so if you love wine, you're gonna love the musical itself, but it's just a really great experience to have dinner and a show. So there's several different show options and entertainment options on board, but as you can see as we walk around the space, we're kind of right below the stadium area of the seating just above us for the theater. This is a wonderful space, and on the newer ships, this is actually occupied by Q, which is the barbecue restaurant on board. Okay, also on deck 6, you're gonna have the boardroom. You have several conference and meeting rooms down here as well. We utilize them all the time. We do a lot of large groups for conferences. And then right here is the library. It's a relatively small library for a ship this size, but it is nice that they have it on there. It's also a great place to play games, checkers, chess, cards, and things like that. You can also check out games here if that's something that you're interested in doing. And then once again, they do have a library collection, and you can supplement what you probably have in your digital collection. So here you have Perspectives Photography Studio. So if you want to do some photos with your family, a vacation is a perfect time to do that. It's actually a really awesome time, but they're going to give you a professional photo shoot, and then you purchase the ones that you want. There's some different packages and things like that. But once again, it's just a great thing to do while on vacation. Another space that I'd like to point out is the Atrium Cafe. This is not a true Starbucks like they have on some of the other ships, but they serve all the Starbucks coffees here. They have all the syrups. They know how to make all the drinks. And of course, they have the Starbucks desserts. All of it is for an extra cost. Please keep that in mind. And then you have the Atrium Bar. This is one of the most social areas on the whole ship where you can sit and relax, because in the atrium itself, they're gonna have game shows. They're gonna have all kinds of things going on basically throughout the entire cruise, usually late into the night. And every once in a while I've been known to sing a karaoke song or two there. I won't put you through that right now. All right, so across the way here, you're gonna have guest services, you're gonna have onboard credit, and then also the shore excursions desk. Make sure that you don't necessarily need to go right away when you get on board unless you're looking for something specific. I always wait just a little bit because the very last night and the very first time when you board, it's gonna be busy there. So up to you, and a lot of the stuff can be done through the digital signage as well, where you can select different reservations and even reserve times at the ropes course and things like that. First off, congratulations. Thank you so much for making it through the tour with us. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. We love Norwegian Cruise Lines. We've had an amazing time on board. When you are ready to book your Haven Suite, reach out to Harr Travel because we are your suite experts. Please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to our channel so that you can see all the great content that we have coming up. We also have some Haven Suites, and then we also have several other Norwegian ships for you to check out.